Holy Ejector, and welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast. Hope you're all doing very well. Today it's me, Mikhail, and Emma. Guys, how you doing? It's been a while.
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good.
It's been a minute.
It's been a little minute. We're back. We're going to be back more regular now, right?
Every week,
that is the plan. We don't have.
You say that every week.
Yeah. Sean's working. James is on a mad mission in Cardiff, having fun. So hopefully we'll all should be back. Yeah, he went to watch Foo Fighters last night. So I'm happy for James because he's been wanting to see Foo Fighters for so long and finally got to do it. It's cool when you get to see a band you've wanted to see for ages. But yeah, we're back, guys. How's chat? How are you doing? Who've we got? We've got Superbar, we've got Laura, we've got Assy Limits, we've got Kira, we've got Matt, got a few people in. Yeah, guys, share this video around to make sure people still know the Chain Dogs exists because we do. Oh, we got Coastbot. What's up, Harry? So some of you may know or may not know that I just returned back from Orlando, and we can now say it that everyone in Chain Dogs
please.
Has RMC completion.
An RMC. Yes, I got it. I did it.
You got it.
It was, yeah, we're going to touch on that. We're going to touch on a few bits of news as well, but just want to start off by saying, like, I couldn't believe how different to my expectations it was riding. I mean, my first RMC was Iron Gwazi. Granted, it's a bit crazy. Like, the build-up of RMCs that have popped up over the years. And then like the craziness of the layouts, the craziness of the elements and everything. And then Iron Gwazi was the one that I got. So it is a lot to take in. When I first came off the ride, I felt like the first time this is going to sound weird, but the first time I ever rode Hex and I didn't know what was going on, I came off it like, what just happened? Like, like I genuinely didn't know what just happened to me when I came off Iron Gwazi, but I don't know how you guys feel when you first rode an RMC. Can you remember what was your first?
How were your thighs?
Fine.
Oh, maybe it's just me then.
That was I was so comfortable.
You don't have skinny thighs like you.
My first thoughts when I came on my first RMC were, Jesus fucking Christ, my legs.
I may have done later if I went later in the trip, all the fucking walking I did, but like not then. No, it was like literally straight off the plane, one night sleep, Busch Gardens, boom. It was great. But so what was you guys' first RMCs?
Untamed.
Mine was Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion.
Nice.
So no, go on.
I was just gonna say, so what was your reaction when you first got off one?
I'm trying to remember if I had experienced like airtime of that nature. Obviously, I'd like been on like ejector machines, like I'd ridden Skyrush and stuff. But
yeah,
like I feel like I can't remember. It definitely felt different just because I can't remember if I had ridden another coaster that like it was like a million like airtime pops like one after the other, and it was nuts in that sense. Just like having just the rapid fire, airtime moments and stuff. Yeah, I think that's what took me aback about it, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is fucking crazy. Later that same year, I did ride Steel Vengeance. Also, like, so Twisted Timbers was my first one. Steel Vengeance was my second.
Nice.
And yeah, Steel Vengeance. At the time, this was before I'd ridden Lightning Rod, but
right.
Like, at the time, Steel Vengeance was like, I was looking around just like, what the fuck was
that? Yeah. Emma, what was your reaction to Untamed?
I mean, not to bang on about the same thing. I struggled to enjoy it, to be honest. I was in so much pain with the seatbelts and the restraints that I think I had 6 rides on it in the day, and I thought my legs were going to fall off. I struggled to enjoy it. I found it violent, and I couldn't get over the fact that my legs were hurting to enjoy the ride. However, redeemed itself by going on Zadra, which is obviously more about the speed than the airtime. a completely different experience. And then I was like, so this is what RMC is all about. I fucking get it. Because I was like, dreading it. I was like, if this hurts, then I'm just not an RMC girly. Like, I just can't ride them.
Were you like, yeah, so were you nervous about riding it then? Were you like, oh, this is
I was so nervous about Zadra. I mean, many people had told me, they were like, you will find it so much more comfortable. But my issue was more with like the seat belts and like the clip on the seatbelt, like just the way you strapped in and stuff, like digging in and all that lot. And I was like, oh God, like I was so nervous going into it, just thinking, shit, like this could be more of the same. But it wasn't. And even the pops of ejector I got on Zadra weren't painful. I think it was just Untamed so low to the ground, isn't it? And it really is. It's so fucking violent, Untamed. Like,
it looks fun.
It's pointless airtime, as I would call it, especially at the end. It's fucking pointless. Like, I just start to enjoy it, and then there's like 3 bunny hills and like a barrel roll where I want to die. I was like, no, enough is enough. But Zadra redeemed it for me. So like, I am more of, they're the only 2 I've done, but you know, like things like Storm Chaser aren't going to be for me, but something like on the grander scale is more my kind of RMC compared to the small, lower to the ground things.
The thing is, what's like, I love Twisted Timbers. Twisted Timbers is easily my favorite smaller RMC that I've done. Untamed. I've not ridden Untamed, but Untamed looking like more of that flavor, like the quintessential, you know, rapid fire airtime pop, smaller scale RMC as well. It does look like one that I'll enjoy because the layout looks a little bit more creative than Twisted Timbers, I think. But yeah, like the Zadras, the Guazis, the Outlaw Runs of the world, like those are the ones that I definitely gravitate like much more towards because like you said, Emma, like the airtime moments are more spaced out and there's more space for you to really feel the sense of speed on them, especially on Iron Gwazi, as you now know, Luke.
Absolutely.
Like that's definitely more my flavor, just because when the smaller RMCs run out of pace, the airtime does feel pointless. That's one thing about Twisted Timbers. Like, it doesn't, like, its pace keeps going throughout the entire ride, and the profiling on the smaller hills in the second half get even tighter. Yeah. So even when it does run out of a bit of speed, like, they still hit you really hard, and like. In terms of how they run, they they do warm up a ton throughout the day, and they vary a lot. So my ride on Twisted Timbers versus my rides on something like Storm Chaser or Twisted Cyclone at Six Flags Over Georgia may like differ a lot there. Yeah. Where I really liked Twisted Timbers and where I really enjoyed Twisted Timbers, I can't wait for the day that I get back on it. I can't really say the same about Storm Chaser or Twisted Cyclone, because those were, well, Twisted Cyclone is a bit different. It feels like it was designed to be not as, you know,
aggressive,
batshit insane as, like, it feels like it was designed to be more fun than like stupid intense airtime wise. But Storm Chaser, I've never gotten the hype around it.
It looks like my idea of hell.
Yeah, I've ridden it a few times now, and I'm like, I don't understand why everyone raves about this coaster. Like, it's fun, but it's not much more than that, in my opinion. But
yeah, speak up in the chat. Let us know what your first RMC was, if you've ridden one. If you've not ridden one, what's going to be your first? Like, let us know in chat. We'll pull it up. But
Harry
it's interesting.
Just got on Steel Vengeance not long ago.
That'd be interesting.
Harry from Coasterbot.
We need to get Harry back on at some point. Like, it's not been on for a while.
Yeah, we were literally. I was speaking to him. Was it yesterday? Yesterday, the day before. I can't remember which. He mentioned he wants to come back on, and I put in our chat that I forgot to mention that he wants to come back on. So we'll definitely have him sit down with us at some point.
Yeah, we've got some here. So we've got Untamed.
You can do your Velocicoaster recap live on our show, since you don't want to bring back Coasterbot Rambles.
Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, for sure. It was yesterday, apparently. So yeah, let us know. Oh, Laura says potentially doing Gwazi next year. Nice.
Oh, let's go. There you go.
Let's go. So let's talk about Iron Gwazi. So there was a storm in the afternoon, so I wanted to make sure that I got on it early. That being said, the ops are absolutely appalling. So I'm just going to throw that out there. They're absolutely shocking. My first ride took it had a 5-minute wait, and there was
so like first of all, how did you get the shuttle bus down there, or did you?
No, I Ubered down.
You Ubered down there. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I budgeted for it.
Did you see Gwazi, like as you were pulling up to the park, or is the first time you saw? Okay.
That was the first time
obviously, like you see it as you're pulling up, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Like it looks massive, whatever.
I saw the lifter like from a bit off the highway, but nothing much. And all I saw on the way in was Montu. I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. No, that is the one you see. To be fair,
yeah.
Like when you're going down, I can't remember the name of the road, but like when you're pulling up towards the park, like you see Montu before you see anything else. What were you thinking as you walked through the Morocco entry section and saw it just right there in front of you?
I was like, this is at the front of the park. Yay. Yeah. I was like, I'm going now. See you later. It's striking, isn't it? It is very striking. And I love the setup they've got of the like thatched roof Gwazi sign, and then the wave turn going across is mint. Yeah. I love that. I didn't actually see it move. Really well. I didn't really see it move until I was in the station, to be honest with you. So I'd not seen it go around. So I was like, yeah. I didn't catch any of the test runs. I was in the park, straight to the station. Obviously, it's right there. It said 5-minute wait. I ended up waiting.
You rope dropped it. You
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
First ride. I'll get into the later rides, right? So I did my first ride.
If it was like early in the morning, then talk about that first ride.
Yeah, first ride. So back row, back left, first ride. I was just so I'd heard what Emma had said and what a lot of people have echoed about the restraints in the seats and the coaster itself and how it feels. And I didn't. I was shocked. Like I just got in, seatbelt on, waited, and then restraints, put them down. Felt reasonably comfortable. Thought, all right, this is cool. If you're gonna like this way all the way around, I'm happy with that. So we hit the
themselves are comfortable.
Yeah, they are comfortable, and
we hit the seatbelt. That's the problem for me. It's not the restraint or anything. It's just that it might be a bit different now. I put a bit of weight on, but just like my frame. The clip for the seatbelt just sits directly on top of my thigh, so they push the restraint down on it, and it's just agony. But like, so it's not like that for everyone. It's just unfortunate,
right?
That's where it needs to be. Everything else about it, I find comfortable.
Right. So obviously, when you move for the first time on a new type of coaster, like I was kind of like this doesn't feel like how I expected it to feel. I expected it to feel kind of janky in a way, like a little bit. But it just wasn't. It was just glass. It was just glass smooth. And you take that little drop before the lift hill, and it kind of throws you on the back. And I was like, okay, all right. I climbed the lift hill, and because you've watched it for ages and all the test footage and all the POVs and everything, that it slows down at the top. Like it slows down slightly before it goes over. On the back, you don't really feel that. You feel it a little bit, but you don't feel it. That drop is incredible. I love that first drop. That it just goes on. It goes over and then it goes over again. It's like it's two drops in. It's hard to explain. It just goes over and then goes over again, and you just fucking fire down that thing so fast. And you hit the bottom, and before you know it, you're flung into a massive like outward bank turn, and it's just that's your first experience of aggressive RMC is when it fucking takes you one way and throws you the other, and it just brings you around.
It's weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
it's bizarre. When you're the first ride that you have, it is kind of I don't know what the hell is happening. You just scream, just be like ah! All the way around, and then you get to the end and you go, holy shit, like, oh, what was that? What was that? You can't appreciate on your first go because it's so much.
Yeah, it blows.
One thing I'll say about Gwazi versus Zadra as well is like you get down to the bottom of the drop. You do the Outer Banks like hill, the first one. Come back down. Those two valleys are fucking strong. They're so powerful on the positives, and it just feels so powerful when you go through them. That is like, I don't really like. Some people say that Gwazi has way stronger positives than most RMCs, and I kind of agree, but also not really.
In areas,
because
it has really
in areas it does. I felt pretty strong positives on Zadra as well, but the two like there are a couple of areas on Gwazi where I will agree, and those two first valleys, they're fucking like in terms of positives, they're fucking powerful.
Yeah,
like notably so above most other RMCs.
I couldn't believe how high I still was after that outer bank. Yeah. After the first drop, I was like, "Wait, what? We've not?" Because Iron Gwazi is really hard to see the whole layout of, like when you're at the park.
Yeah.
There's not many vantage points.
There's no paths nearby it at all.
All you can see is the drop and the
like the highest points,
the death roll and the wave turn. That's all you can see, really. And
it makes it really hard to take photos of as well. It's kind of annoying.
Yeah, it is very difficult in the park. It's probably easier outside the park, to be honest with you, to take shots of that. But if you got away from the park and zoomed in, it probably would be
because the thing is, the vast majority. So for anyone who doesn't know how Busch Gardens Tampa is set up, their employee areas are actually in the middle of the like land,
right?
That the park sits on.
Yeah,
the employee areas are right in the middle, and Gwazi's ride area is right next to the employee area.
So that's why there's no pathways there.
Yeah, and the pathways and like just the park layout is kind of weird. It's like a massive triangle.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, it's like a massive triangle, and there's no there's no pathways that go anywhere close to the actual ride area apart from when you go into the entrance. So it's kind of weird to see the layout. It's weird. It's hard to take photos of it. And
you can hear it more than you see it.
You can hear it more than you can see it. But like you can see the tallest points of it. You can see the drop. You can see the first overbank. You can see the death roll. And I guess that's all you really need to see.
Yeah, to be fair, that's all you see. There was a walkway coming back towards the entranceway, coming back from Sheep Crow Way. I did get a nice shot of most of the layout. It's like on a vantage point. You have to go some steps, and there's some random fucking aviary right next to you as well. Strange animals. I was walking quickly off topic. I was walking around, just randomly walking around the paths, and then there was like a hippo just
yeah.
It's like, how did I find this? Didn't walk past this before. But like you say, it's a triangle. It's a really strange part. You have to keep going and going and going to get to where it's like there's no like passage. It's weird. It's just one shot to get to where you want to go. But it is cool. But I didn't realize how high that the pullout is for that overbank, and I was still so high on the track, and I thought, shit, I didn't realize that. So the next element like took me like way out, surprise, and then the left right into the death roll, man. That is
it's a good roll. It is a very good roll. I will say
it's so like whippy. It's not like a smooth. It's smooth, but it's not like a smooth barrel roll transition. It's
like it's so weird, the contrast between the roll and the rise up into the roll, because you're banking right, you're rising up, and then it just flips you over, and like it ejects it on that flip, like it ejects you like out of the train before it starts like rolling you upside down and stuff. It's a pretty sick feeling. I will say I still prefer the Mosasaurus roll though. Like I prefer Velocicoaster's Mosasaurus roll because of the aggression of the upside down like ejector on the Mosasaurus roll. You kind of get that like right before the roll on the death roll, but Gwazi's roll is more consistent. It doesn't really like eject you when you're upside down.
No, which is what I was expecting.
Consistently roll through it, and yeah, I kind of just prefer the jank, for lack of a better term, feel like the slightly more jank feeling of the Mosasaurus roll. You genuinely feel like it
feels more dangerous, that roll, because of how you feel on it. It's hard to explain to anybody who hasn't ridden it, but it is just like an upside down airtime ejector moment. It's just it doesn't want you in the car. Like it just tries to throw you out, like tries to get rid of you. It does that a lot, Velocicoaster, to be honest with you, on a lot of its elements. But the death roll, and then forgive me, I can't remember the layout perfectly. But then the next standout moment for me was that fucking wave turn. That is
the best part of the ride.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the best element on the ride.
Like I totally agree. And later on, when I experienced it later on, that was just so aggressive. Like
that thing. Emma, imagine Zadra's like, you know, the outer banked wave turn, like after the stall.
After the stall, yeah.
Yeah, that one. But instead of like flipping you out and then flipping you back straight away, Zadras holds you there for like a few seconds longer. Yeah. So it like hits it with the same kind of like a speed and aggression, but then just holds you there in the ejector moment for like a couple seconds longer and then flips you back.
Have you ridden the front of Gwazi?
Yeah.
Mikhail? Yeah. So how did you find that element on the front? I don't really remember it. I don't really remember it feeling a whole lot different from front to back. I probably did prefer one over the other, but I can't remember which. Yeah, for me,
both of them are crazy.
Yeah,
I will say I do prefer left side over right side through it.
Yeah, left side's good. Left side,
like left side, you really feel like you're getting thrown out of the side of the train.
Yeah, you're going towards Tampa, like you're gone. Yeah. It's it was incredible to experience on the back the first time, but then later on when I rode it on the front, it felt so much more aggressive on the pull out of that element. It felt like it was just bending you back in. Whereas on the back, you kind of whip. On the front, you kind of pull the whole train with you. It was weird. It was a weird.
And then you got the head chopper on the exit from the lift. From the lift truss structure as well, which is a nice touch as well.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it? I didn't even think about that, but yeah, no, it is. Yeah, but the whole way round was just speed. It's just so fast. That ride is so fast. Even I think some of the underrated parts of that ride are towards the end. Like you've got the combination of the airtime hills and then the tip outs and then the stall. The stall's not massive, but it does enough for it to get to the next elements. And
it is nice. I like the progression from like going from the wave turn. You've got that little step up, and then the wave, and then the stall. Yeah, I like the progression there in terms of those weightlessness moments, because it's like one is right side up, one's on your side, and then one's upside down. Yeah, and like all progressing into each other. It's a nice little flow it gets through there,
and it's good how it keeps its height and speed as well. Like it stays up there for a while. Like you stay quite high for a while, and then when you finally dive back down at that hill,
people were wondering if it was going to keep its pace throughout like the rest of the layout, like after the stall. It was like the first test runs put all of that to bed immediately. Yeah. There was no worry what's after that whatsoever. What I will say, and I'll get into why I prefer Zadra. Like in a
I
bit,
was literally just about to ask which one you preferred.
Like, and yeah, I'll get into that. But I will say about what detracts from the last few moments for me is that, okay, so you do the stall, you come back down, you like have that step up, that off-axis step up, and then it circles back round into the two like little bunny hops.
Yeah.
Those to me, I don't know how they felt for you, but like those to me felt really jerky. It didn't really feel like nice airtime moments. It felt like the train was jerking you forward and back.
Yeah, I got
before
that.
Circling around again. And then the last airtime hill before you turn into the brakes, that one is good. That one's sick.
That is
but
it's so it's not that big, but it's so good.
Moment is that.
Yeah, you glide down that thing. Like,
yeah.
I agree. Them little moments before that, it does feel like it's just trying to get to where it's trying to go to get the turn in, to get the drop down, and but it as well though they offer different experiences on the front. I noticed there was a lot more ejector on the front going through the higher moments towards the end of the ride than there were on the back. It was more about speed on the back and how quick you go through everything. But that airtime hill is just so sneaky. Like it's so sneaky
because you're still so high up, and then
not
so high up. You're still like relatively high up. You're like off the ground, and then the exit of that last airtime hill is way lower than the entry of it. Yeah. So like you keep dropping for way longer than you're expecting to before they turn into the brakes. Yeah, that last one is sick. But the two before it, I just found to ride like kind of clunky. Like, yeah, the airtime wasn't like it wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like the flow through it, but it was just a bit like herky jerky.
If you compare it to the rest of
herky
the ride
jerky
before it,
what a descriptive word.
Is that what we're going to call the B&M rattle now?
That's tickled me. Herky jerky. I've never heard that.
I get creative. Okay.
Let's go.
I'm saving that one.
Put it on a t-shirt. but I do agree. Compared to the rest of the ride, it felt kind of not like the rest of the ride felt like up to that moment. But then the airtime hill brought it all back, and then the turn into the brakes, that thing just comes in at some speed. Jesus Christ. I was like, oh shit, this is the turn. Boom, brakes. Fuck me. And then you
it has that same, like it slams on the brakes just like Zadra does.
Now I've experienced Gwazi, I'm quite comfortable knowing that Zadra's brakes are quite aggressive, so I'll be good. I'll be good. But I rode it back and front, back again after it rained, so I got a wet ride on it later in the afternoon. Holy fuck, different. Different. Yeah. Like I can't even. I think in my head, in my crazy little mind, it felt like it was about 10 to 15 mile an hour quicker. It felt like quicker. It was batshit crazy. I don't know how Zadra warms up, but if it's anything like that,
it does. It very much does.
It definitely does.
Tampa's hot. It was hot. It was like 35, I think, from start to and then it had we had the thunderstorm and then a bit of rain and then got on it after it rained, and it was just honestly, it was just over in a flash. Like as soon as you leave that lift hill, it was just done. I was like, okay, that was quick. That was
one of those rides where you just look back on it and you just like, what have I just experienced? Like I shameless plug. I was on the Drunk Riders podcast last week. Go listen to that.
Traitor.
But we talked about we talked about, hey, you guys all right, you guys don't. I have to record what you said.
Oh, sorry. Some of us are ill, but Kyle.
I'm free most Wednesdays.
Selfish bastard.
True. No, but we talked about like rides that you get on the brakes and you just like, how do I even put that into words? like what even was that just then? Yeah, was it one of those?
Yeah, it was. And you know what? Montu did that as well for me. Like that's a special ride. Montu is
in the world.
Special. Yes. from what I've ridden on. Like, and I did the behind the coasters tour as well. So I went behind the scenes on.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Cheetah Hunt, Cobra's Curse. Unfortunately, though, they took us behind the launch for Cheetah Hunt, and they run the rides when they do these tours at Busch Gardens, which is great. But it went down. But I had my camera literally like zooming down the launch from behind it, and I was like, "This is the perfect shot." It's such a geek shot, and it fucking went down. I was like, "Bastard." But we went into the Mech Bay. I highly recommend it if you're going to go to Busch Gardens for one day. You can fit it in. It only takes about an hour and a half out your day, if that. And you just meet up with a rep, and then they take you to the rides, and then the people who are working on the rides, the supervisors, they take you through the workshops. And I even got to go in Cobra's Kirsty's art booth, which was pretty cool. And then we went into Cheetah Hunt's shop. We went down the launch bit, workshop. I mean, so I saw they were stripping down a train, loads of parts. Showed us some wheels. We all got to hold like different wheels. Showed us what happens to mobile phones. They had a box of like destroyed phones, like legit. And then they showed us what that actually did to one of the wheels, the pothole it made in the wheel, which was crazy.
What, a phone?
Yeah. Yeah. And so Cobra's Curse was the same. We went through the back of it, and then down the maintenance entryway, and then into the shop, into the workshop, through the transfer track bit, storage track, everything. And then Montu was just like free for all. They took us into the exit, and then they talked about how they do certain things for different situations with the station, and how they will like reset the restraints and stuff with like this bar they've got. They can undo the restraints if it locks on and stuff like that. And then they took us down the back of the station into the workshop, and I was allowed to film everything. You can film everything. So if you're a content creator, you can film everything at Busch Gardens. They don't care. Just as if you're riding if you're doing POVs, just wear a harness, a GoPro harness and a GoPro, you'd be sweet. But if you do this tour, you can film everything. I didn't actually realize until we got out of Cheetah Hunt's launch section that I was actually able to film. So I was just on the slide, just taking some shots, and I was like, "Can I film?" And it was like, "Yeah, you can film everything. You can film everything on this tour." I was like, "Brilliant." I'm in an intimate workshop. Last time I was in one of them was Stealth, and they were like, "Nope, you can't do anything with your phone. You can't do anything with your camera. Like, everything away. Like, you need to sign a waiver before you go through it. Like, you don't have to do that." But it was like it was very strict. But yeah, things have changed. But I walked up the catwalk for the brake run for Montu, like as the ride was going.
That's wild.
Stopped us so high. And then was able to get shots of it going around. Amazing view of the park as well. Such a nice view. And it was just, it was a Coaster Geeks dream, man. It was amazing. It was everything. And then after that, they just give us a couple of fast passes and just said, right, go and ride the rides again. Oh yeah, every ride we did a tour on, we got to ride straight away, straight on. Nice. So if you want to try and get some of them rides in, if you're there and it's busy, doing that tour will actually guarantee that if the ride's not down, you'll get to ride it. But if it is down, they'll give you a fast pass.
Especially useful on Cobra's Curse.
Yeah.
That shit builds up a line quick.
I would do that tour, honestly. If you're coming from the UK and you've only got one day there, it's worth it just to guarantee you'll get on Cheetah Hunt, Montu, Cobra's Curse.
How much was it?
That's $110.
Oh, that's reasonable.
That's not bad at all.
And you get so much behind the scenes. Like it's great. Like we walked into the Montu workshop, and I'm just like, holy fuck, like all these like wheel bogies and wheel assemblies, and you've got a train above you on the storage track ready to come out as well. And then you have the old wheel covers that everybody
did they have the third train in there?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they had it dismantled.
Yeah.
It was all dismantled on the side.
They just use it for parts.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It was like one of the best like behind the scenes I've done ever. Done quite a few now, and that was so good. And the ride supervisors that take you around, they know the shit. Like, yeah, they were telling us some cool stuff. So it's worth doing. Again, if you're only going for a day and you want to guarantee them rides, it's worth it. I highly recommend it. When
I was at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, when I worked there, we did the roller coaster tour that they put on. I think we got it for free because we were employees. And we went up Griffin's lift hill to start.
Nice.
Got shots like all up on there, and weirdly, we didn't have to wear any harnesses or anything, which was weird. I don't know if that's still the case, but like, I don't know
anything when we were going.
I was going to say, when you went up Sheikra, did you have to put on a harness or anything?
No, we didn't go up Sheikra. We didn't do behind the scenes.
Oh, did you not? Oh, okay.
No. But when we went up the catwalk for Montu, nothing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So, and that's quite high.
Yeah. We did Griffin. We went into Alpengeist maintenance shed. We went to Verbolten. Went into the Bolton showroom. Couldn't really see much because there was no lights on. What else did we do? Which else did we? I can't remember if we did like Apollo and Tempesto and stuff as well.
That's quite a lot, man. That's a lot.
We did a few. Yeah, we went backstage on a few of the coasters. A good few. No, it was Loch Ness Monster.
Nice.
That we went into the maintenance shed for. They had a bunch of wheels, like just displayed out for display, so we could look at and pick up and stuff. And you see how they transfer trains on and off, and like make it go down this dip basically into the. They don't like let it roll, but they have it like attached to a winch, I think, and just kind of just let it controlled coast down into the down into the shed. So it was super cool. And like backstage at Griffin as well, they had a few wheels set up for display as well, and they had a train in there, and we could like go underneath it and look at all of the like the lift like mechanisms and see the chain dog like in there and everything. And so that was super cool. But they had some wheels set up as well. And literally, if you've been to the gym and picked up a 25 kg plate, it's basically that size. I've got a photo of the tour guide, like trying to hold it, and it's like he's holding it like this.
I can imagine, because cheetah hunts were big. Like he gave us like the runner wheels first, and I was like, that's not the biggest one. And then he pulled out the big one. I was like, holy shit, that is massive. It's massive. Like you can see it behind you on the train I'm working on. But it
never looks that big on the train. But when you actually get it in, like this road wheel for Griffin was taking up this dude's whole torso. Like it's massive.
It's like when you go into Pleasure Beach, when you go into the shop, sometimes it's just got a random massive wheel from like something in the past.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? How's this in the shop? It's mad. It is crazy. Like it was one of the best things that I did on that trip. It was so fun. I wouldn't skip Busch Gardens. It's a good park. The rides, some of them are decent.
Piss poor management, but
I mean, Sheikra was on one train, so it was a bit of a headache to to stand there and stuff. And but it was an experience. I'll never forget that. It was so worth it. So if you're planning on doing Busch, please do that tour. It's amazing. You'll get so much out of it. I wish more parks did more things like that. I really do. Like to that detail as well. I feel like that's something Pleasure Beach could do like really well if they wanted to, because they've got so many classics there, so many maintenance bays, so many things they can do tours about.
It was so fun. It was like, Emma, when we did the icon. Remember we did that icon behind the scenes thing. We went in the garden. It was that feeling of just
like silence because you felt like you shouldn't be there. So you were
it literally felt like you shouldn't be there, but it was
walked around with your hands like this and just
yeah. So yeah, I got on all the attractions there. I didn't do what's it called, the Drop Tower Fury.
Oh yeah, so Ride Till I Die just asked in the chat if you did Falcon Fury. Yeah.
No, I'm quite confident in saying I don't enjoy Drop Towers. Don't enjoy. I just don't like them. Like I don't.
That one you just have to try just for the novelty of the cars, like the seats tipping forward. But
I reckon. I mean, I've never been, but I think I could live without that in my life. To be honest,
freaking noisy.
Or just go to Gronelin and ride Icarus.
It's so noisy. Like it's it's so loud. It's like, oh, where's that noise coming from? It's like, oh, it's that thing again. Yeah, I know. And I did think about going on it a couple of times, and then I was just like, it's not the height. It's not the a fear of them or anything like that. I just don't enjoy them.
I love Drop Tower.
I blame Mystery Castle for that. Yeah. I think if I was with a group of enthusiasts and they were all like, let's go, I'd go on it. It's different when you're with enthusiasts and but yeah, it's not going anywhere. I'll probably go on it at some point, but that's just how I feel about rides. Sometimes I feel like I don't need to do them. I can do them whenever I want, sort of thing. So it's one of them. But the rest of the part, like Sheikra was cool. I enjoyed Sheikra. That was fun. It was a fun ride.
What did you think of Kumba? Now there's a question.
Back left, first ride.
Yeah.
It was quite intense and quite painful as well. I didn't have a good ride on it.
Really?
Yeah, I got bashed around. I got bashed around like fuck. I got bashed around like fuck. I loved the layout. It was so exciting, the layout, and I don't think I did it justice.
Was it like, well, it was a lot of headbanging, or
yeah.
Oh, right,
yeah, a lot. Like when Dragon Khan's on a bad day, that's what it felt like. Really? Yeah, it was really bad.
It was riding really well for me in November.
Nah, it was a shame because the loop's fantastic. Oh my days, like, and going underneath it for the first time, like, so iconic. So iconic. But it's high. It's a good drop. It's a great drop into that loop, and then it just goes crazy low. And just I did like the little right turn before the Cobra roll it does after that. Like, just like a little right and then dives down.
Oh yeah, the little like it's banked a little bit and then it just like dips down and then goes up into it.
That was really fun. I had some great moments, some great intensity, but it took it away from me a bit because it was really, really headbangy. And I never normally moan about that. Like, I really like Dragon Khan. So, and I like the Hulk as well. Cumber or Hulk? I don't know. That's a... It's,
if I go back, whenever I go back, I am going to go back. But like, if I go back and Kumba is still running the same way it was running this past November, I might have to say Kumba. For like context, the first time I went to Florida was in 2003, and I've been going periodically ever since. And I've solidly preferred Hulk. Hulk has historically given me way better rides than Kumba ever has. A lot of the time, I was like, why do people like? I love the setting of Kumba. I love how it's like baked into like
so nice.
There's so much lush greenery and foliage all around the layout and everything. But I just consistently kept having sluggish rides on Kumba, whereas Hulk was consistently just flying for me. So I've always been Team Hulk. This past trip, completely the other way around. Hulk was still good. But kind of sluggish some rides. And Kumba was giving me by a country mile the best rides I've ever had on it. By a country mile, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yo, if I come back here and these two rides are running the same way, then I'm gonna have to move Kumba above Hulk in my rankings." Which is sad.
I did. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy Kumba. It just took it away from me a little bit. Like it was all over the place. It wasn't even like. Sometimes you can be on a coaster and it's quite headbanging, and you think, "Oh, is it me? Like, what's going on? Am I getting old or some shit?" But it was fucking aggressive. Like,
it's an aggressive ride. I didn't like that's weird that like. Well, I just didn't have any headbanging on it.
Yeah, I wish I didn't. I really wish I didn't.
It
but
does
I love
aggressive though.
Yeah, I loved it though. It was fun. Like came off it, I was like that was good. But again, fucking one train just up slow as fuck. Like so
one train in June is crazy.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a small queue. Like it was like 25.
Like it was on 2 trains for me in November.
Right.
Like what are we doing?
Yeah. Granted, I did ride that later on in the day, so it might have been a different story if I got on it a bit earlier. It might not have been as headbangy or whatever, but might have been the bad train they had on. God knows, but it was very rough in that aspect. But it was a fun layout. Just
someone also asked. Yeah, someone also asked if you got a night ride on Gwazi.
No, I didn't. We went there because it started thunder and lightning and everything just went.
Yeah,
about 6, 7-ish. Yeah, about 6 or 7-ish, and then that was it. Done. No, it was all over Orlando. We had like a massive storm that hit, and Miami got like mad floods, like 6 feet of water and stuff. It was crazy. We didn't get any of that, but we got the big storm. That's the only problem.
You done a night ride on Zadra yet, Emma?
I did a front row night ride, and that is what bumped it up the rankings for me.
Yeah.
I was torn all day between Hyperion. I get reached around. Hyperion and Zadra. I was like toying with them, but then I did a front row night ride. Not completely dark, just like dark dusk.
Yeah.
And
they're the best. I love it.
Fucking blew me away because it was dark. You got all like the night, but then you could still see like on the horizon. You could still do. It was so good. And that's what was like. Shit, maybe this is a number 1 coaster. It's not. It's number 2, but it definitely bumped it up there for me. It made a whole world of difference.
Yeah, nice. I like them. I like them dusk rides. I like them on Nemesis. Like when the park's just starting to go and turn a little bit and just fucking
all the lights had just come on and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like in the distance you could still see the sunset like miles away in the distance. So
can't wait to ride Zadra. I'm so hyped for that now. I just want to ride.
You get to wear
RMC
cool as shit goggles as well, so you look like a pilot. It's incredible.
Charles Lindbergh on Zadra.
I didn't get to put on the Top Gun Maverick glasses.
Oh, you've missed out because they make you feel like a bad bitch.
Is there a front row?
Everybody else in that train like
make you feel like a bad bitch.
Is there a front row queue for Zadra then?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. I love a front row queue. Like the option to do it front row. Like, so is there a front row queue on Hyperion, but it's not open yet?
Yeah.
I feel like they could freaking charge for that. I feel like people would pay to ride that front row. Like that's a shame. I think there is. I think I asked it before. I think I asked Sean before on a previous episode.
Sweaty, I am. I do apologise.
It's very warm.
I am just sweating.
Yeah, it is very hot. We've just talked about Busch Gardens for 50 minutes, but
Martin, what is wrong with you? You're so bougie. Just wear the fucking goggles.
Yeah. Put them on.
Do they go over? Are they? No one's asking you to smell them. Like, you go over your eyes, not your nose.
It's like a pair of swimming goggles. It's not like a scuba thing that goes like over.
Back to Harry's question, Cumber or Hulk? I think it has to be Hulk just for me. Like just I just love that launch. Like that launch into the inversion is just something special. it's something special for me. It feels great. It's fast, it's whippy. It's and then the dive down into the actual park itself. It's just gorgeous. I love that area. I love that. I love it. I do like Cumber's setting. Like you said, the foliage, the tropical vibe. It's just slightly, from my first visit, slightly hidden away a little bit. Like I had to go and look for it. Like,
oh yeah,
because there's like the rapids. There's like
you
the
can't see it until you're right in front of it,
and then there's like Cumber's slightly to the left, and if you stray a little bit, you miss it. Like, but it's nice. I like the misters on the bridge as well. They have firing down at you. That's very welcome. Guess that we're on in November.
I just miss big like beefy B&M track.
Yeah,
coming so close to buildings and trees, and it just seeming like it's just wrapping itself around around like everything in the area. Like everything, it like Cumber's track just looks so close to everything.
Yeah,
like it's like you see the track coming out of the 0G roll, and like what you see where they've had to basically modify the bridge because there's a fucking like pathway that goes underneath it. You see where they've had to modify the bridge on the right side just so that the spine can fit like underneath it and stuff. And like on the corkscrew, like on the corkscrews, like you see the track come like so close to the roof of the Q house and stuff. Like it's like they don't design like super tight elements like that anymore.
Nah, and I think that's why it's so aggressive. Like everything is tight, very tight.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Dragon Khan, you've kind of got a bit of space between some of the elements on Cumber. It's just like it's very fires you into everything. Even towards the end of the ride, Jesus, like, it doesn't stop and it hits pretty quick as well on the brakes. Which is, it's a good ride. It's fucking gutted. It was banging me around like fucking 90s fucking corkscrew. Yeah, it did. Definitely did do my head in that a bit. I came off it. I was like, oh, I really wanted that to be great. It was, but I couldn't see past it, which was a shame. Flight to Phoenix looks cool. The new invert, the building, that looks cool. The janky ass first still though. It looks so strange. Like it drops down, then it turns around. It wasn't testing. No, it tested when bloody got back. Like someone put a video up. The park reopened later on. I think it reopened later on, and then they were doing it was either that day or the day after. No, it might have been the day after actually. But yeah, they literally sent it round the day after. Yeah, it was the day after. I was gutted because that would have been nice to see that. But it's got LEDs on the bottom of it. Seen some footage of it. Looks cool. More inverts with LEDs, please. And they change color as well, which is nice. They're not just like one color. I think is Monster one color or does it change? I can't remember.
I think they're one color. Are they all white?
Like a warm white, aren't they, or something? Yeah. But these change, which is fun. It's fun that they've added that. But no, RMC. I just need to ride more of them. It's brought something out of me that I didn't know still existed, like the enthusiasm to go and try, because there hasn't been really that many new types of rides that have like changed the landscape in terms of like what RMC offer in their rides compared to a lot of other things. Don't get me wrong, Intamin done some crazy shit, like and other manufacturers have done some crazy stuff, but RMCs just feel like they just are a different genre of coaster, and I feel like that I just need to ride them all now.
Does it make you want, like, when, how do I word it? So it's you've experienced that like out of control, like raucousness of an RMC, like how quickly it moves and transitions and stuff like that. do you find, because when I rode like shit comparison, but like I'd ride like Woodies after it, and I'd be like, no, this isn't good enough because the transitions aren't snappy enough, and then obviously they're not supposed to be. But then like you just ride this new for you type of coaster, and you're like, well, no, they all should be like this now because I want to be thrown around, and I want it to be going like 5 million miles an hour.
Yeah, but I've never been so like felt like I was in just a comfort zone as well as going for all this craziness. Like it felt like I was I feel like RMC is my type of coaster. Like that's what I feel like now. And it's just I love them. Like I was so impressed. I came off just like I need to go on it again, like now. and yeah, it was great, but it kind of did ruin a few rides for me there as well. Going on it first, I knew it would do, but I tried to pull the nostalgia pill out a bit when I got on some.
I mean, I've said this before. I mean, that's what Lightning Rod did to Steel Vengeance for me.
Right.
Like I said, the first couple of times I rode Steel Vengeance, I thought it was batshit insane, and it still is to a degree. But then I rode Lightning Rod a year later, and then came back to Steel Vengeance, and was like, this just doesn't hit the same. Because Lightning Rod at the time, obviously, this was back in 2019, when it was still launching at a good speed, like just like that sense of pace that Lightning Rod used to have was addictive. Like it was literally addictive. I'd hit the brake.
I can only imagine
it again. Like I need it again. And
I
then,
can only imagine, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and then Steel Vengeance after that was like, oh, this second half feels like it dies. Like it feels like it's dying out. It's not giving me that same, just like stupid, like absurd, relentless.
Steve's like ridiculously long as well, isn't it?
Huh?
It's ridiculously long as well, isn't it? Steel Vengeance.
Yeah. I am excited to get so. I am going back to see the point in 2 weeks. And I'm
how it's riding now, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back on it and reassess it with fresh eyes, having not just ridden Lightning Rods before it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I still need back row rides on Steel Vengeance. To be fair, I've had a ton of front rows. I need a back row on Steel Vengeance.
Yeah, make a point of doing it if you've not done it yet. I would suggest it would probably be a fucking night and day comparison.
Yeah,
because obviously
it'll definitely be interesting to see how I feel about it.
I can't wait to hear what you come back with that. Like I can only imagine the pace of that that end section of Lightning Rod, like. Feeling
that quad down is that quad to this day might still be my favorite element I've ever experienced on anything. Like
I can only imagine. I'm so jealous you got to ride that when it was launching and being all crazy and shit. But I think
get them RMC numbers up.
Yeah, and I think though, Ride to Happiness might be the next new coaster that I do. Me and James and Pete are planning on doing a bit of a trip out there at some point, so I'm looking forward to that as well because that's got some crazy moments to it. So,
telling me,
is that your number one?
Your mind, yeah.
How many times have you ridden that?
I've been twice to Plopsa. I think I maybe rode it like 7 or 8 times on my first visit, and 2 or 3 on my second visit. And each time was just better than the rest. Like it's just that kind of coaster though. It doesn't matter where you sit, really. How many times you ride it, you're going to get a different ride every time.
Yeah. And
it's going to blow your mind in the sense of you're going to move on that coaster in ways that you've never moved before. And you're like, what the fuck is this? Like doing a backwards roll as you're going over a top hat. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it's crazy. It's going to blow your mind.
You get that double inverting like dive thing. Like spinning through it, like if you start sideways at first, and then like
apparently James has figured out how to get the ultimate.
Keep going, mate.
James has apparently on James's trip, he figured out how to get the weight distribution.
Yeah,
like how to get it. There's like 2 big, 1 back. I think that's what he said. But
if you can get going over like the first, like as you come at the launch over the top of that like first top hat. If you can be on the back and get yeeted over that sideways, that will change your life. Like the way it just throws you over the top if you do it sideways is crazy. Like I got like a POV of me and Carl on it when it did that, and we both just like the shock on our faces.
Oh, I've seen that.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Carl just looks back at you and he's like, "What the fuck was that?"
But you do that all the way around. Like you do that all the way around. You'll just be like, "What is happening?" And the best thing as well, like if there's a group of you, like you see each other, like obviously as you're constantly spinning, like you can see inside of the back, especially, like you can see the whole train when it does like inversions and stuff, and it's so cool to be like waving and like whooping with your friends. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really
Plus with a
excited.
banging soundtrack in the background as well.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice it the first time. I was too busy screaming.
Since James has got back from riding that, he's just been on like, we need to go. Like, we need to like Plopsa. Like, it's like
if I lived down south and it wasn't as like 8,000 years to get to Dover, I would be there all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap as shit for a season pass as well. Like you could pay like £100 for a season pass, and just if I lived in London, I would be there all the time.
Yeah. I think that's
if you're down south, it's closer to you than Towers is.
Yeah,
which is wild.
So I'm excited for that. That's probably going to be the trip where I'll get Ride to Happiness, Hyperia, Mandrill Mayhem, and then all of Lego coasters as well. So it's going to be like a nice little cred injection. That so I'm looking forward to it. Hyperia this weekend. Are you excited?
Shh. Don't say anything. Don't let it hear you. It's running fine.
You can talk about the event though. Who's going?
But talk quietly.
All right. Who's going to the attraction source?
Me.
Then, yeah.
That's all that matters.
Okay. Right. Cool.
Well, we got announced EMT on Hyperia, which will be lovely because it's just fine. Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Don't upset it. Shh.
No. It's very sensitive. It's like a newborn.
And there you go. The Chain Dogs ASMR section.
Yeah, there you go. Hyperia ASMR. No, I hope everybody has a great time.
So that put it as its own separate clip on Spotify.
It's going to be great, and I can't wait to see all the carnage from that because unfortunately I'm not going, which is a shame. But
we get a party. You have no idea how excited I am for a party. Like this is how middle-aged I am that I'm like, a party till 1 a.m. Fucking yes.
I've seen as well, like in the shark cabin, some of the pictures from the Hyperia themed rooms. They actually look quite nice, and I've given the shark cabin some shit.
I'm staying in a shark cabin.
Are you staying in the Hyperia room?
No, I'm not fucking made of money, Luke. I just hope the air conditioner's working. I swear to God. Right.
Yeah, it's going to be quite.
I will cry. I will call the police if that air conditioner is not working.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great, and I'm sure everyone will have a fantastic time. And obviously, it's later on, so the coaster should be running really well. How many times do you think you're gonna get on it?
In the ERT, I would.
How many times are you gonna try and get on it? 4.
I would like 4. I'm not greedy.
That seems reasonable.
Like, I'd try and do a couple during the day. I think. Oh no, we have to do it during the day because Carl and Alicia are coming, and Alicia is on 99 creds, so Hyperia.
Yes.
So we have to go and ride it during the day first. So it's really cool that because like Hyperia was my 300th, it'll be her 100th. So cool.
Right, so that says 10. 5 to 6 from that.
Because Martin runs, I don't run. Stupid. I would like 4. If I got 4, I'm happy. Depends which way they kind of filter us through.
Yeah, I remember the last ERT for Nemesis, and everyone was kind of going back round to try and get like back row, and back row was just stacked all the way through it. And I was just jumping from seat to seat because no one was getting in the seats. I was like, I'll go again.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I've only rode it once, and I rode it like second to back row, so I've pretty much experienced back row. So I'll be glad wherever To be fair, I just can't get on the fucking thing, to be honest.
I just hope and pray that everything's fine, and it seems to be running really, really good at the moment.
It's really doing well.
Yes, it's doing good.
He's having a great time. Don't spoil it.
These 150 people there could do 1,500 an hour, so that means 10 times.
Martin, I'm not running not even a fast walk.
I think if you just jump on any seat,
weekend, it's going to be warm.
What I've learned from ERTs is like if you just don't care about where you sit, you'll get more rides. Helix, Jesus Christ, rode the hell out of that. I killed myself riding.
Finley's coming with me as well, so he'll run, so he'll get like 20 rides on it because he'll gladly go around. But he's not rode it yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing his first reactions as we go over up the lift hill. I'll be like, "Hold on, for God's sake!"
Yeah,
I'm nervous. Like I said, I only got one ride on it on opening day. I scared the shit out of me, so I'm nervous to try it again. Like,
I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll have a great time. You'll have a lovely time. Then you can have a party afterwards.
Oh, I'm gonna have a beer. I can't wait.
Hyperion can only do 750 people per hour. Sadly, that's from Harry and Coasterbot. Do a video on it.
Yeah, the capacity's not great.
Harry coming in with the fact.
Yeah.
There's a whole chat about that the other day.
Right.
Working out like it's like capacity or lack thereof.
Yeah. For such a short coaster as well, you'd think it would get through, but I can't wait to experience it. And the fact I'm going to be doing that and Ride to Happiness in the same weekend is pretty special.
That is a good haul.
Yeah.
And you get to do a new base as well at Plopsa.
Oh, yeah.
Put your head back, for God's sake.
Yeah. I missed that one.
Top tip. Don't put your head forward. Christ.
Yeah, been told. But nah, it's all good. RMCs are just that. I just want more of them. I just don't understand why we don't have one. I know there's like some stuff with the trains, like they have to change the design or whatever so that it can fit like regulations and stuff over here, but that's what I've been told anyway. But I think that Martin. it's just we just need more of them. Like not even on that scale. I mean, one on that scale would be fantastic, don't get me wrong, but
don't have a pissy one, like a low to the ground one. I'll cry. Oh God, imagine the UK is getting RMC. Oh, it's just a clone of Untamed. Fucking brilliant. No.
What about a clone of Untamed, but you can put sponges on your legs? Like,
well, I've decided. You know, you get like American football pads with like the padding on the thighs. I'm getting me some of them. They're going to be my
that is dedication to the cause.
Roller coaster pads. That's what they're going to be.
You said that about Conda. Have you not bought them yet? Are they still in your shopping cart on Amazon or some shit?
You just wait, right?
Just wait for the NFL season to finish.
You're going to come back here and we're going to have like a meal and I'm going to
It's been the off season since January.
That's it? All right, okay. Football.
February.
Just wait, like they're going to be sensational like this. They're going to have to happen. I remember saying it after after every coaster, to be honest. Like, I do need some form of thigh protection.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, so should we touch on some of the other news? A little bit.
News?
Just for a hot minute.
Yeah,
so
an hour and 10 into the show.
So Universal, they came out with the Dark Universe land and showed off all the concepts for that and what it's going to be like. And again, Ride Through the Trees, Danny Elfman's going to be doing the soundtrack for Dark Universe as well, which is something I'm very excited to hear. Well, what are your thoughts on Dark Universe from the off? What you've seen? I know you're a big horror fan, Emma.
Mate,
like,
Emma, you go first because I'm sure this spoke to you in multiple different ways.
It's a bit of me. Everything about it, I am enjoying. The darker, the better. I'm all about that.
Some of the theming elements as well, like on the restaurant, the burning windmill. That's so cool. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be epic. Like it really is.
Yeah.
The Monsters ride as well. Somebody put a clip up from on Twitter X. That is this CGI and what's he called? Is it Jeffrey? I can't remember what his name is now.
Gregory Hall.
Gregory, that's it. He put in was like, nope, that's not CGI.
Yeah,
so
he confirmed it. Well,
there
I mean,
are
like,
some
the tweet, but
mad, like Universal monster, classic monster animatronics in.
I am starting to think the expectation levels for that ride are going to be justified. Like, I think it's going to be fair to expect that to be among the best dark rides that Universal has created. I wouldn't be surprised if the consensus after it is best dark ride in the world.
Potentially,
like, it's sounding like there's going to be a lot of living up to the hype,
new technology,
that they're gonna achieve.
I believe it's going to be absolutely incredible. The whole thing, that whole land just looks gorgeous. Like, something about the dark theme and horror that just goes so well in a theme park. Like, I mean,
Universal Monsters as well is like so fucking iconic.
Yeah.
To elaborate more on that is exciting to me.
It's going to be interesting to see how they balance the attractions and different things to do for families and for younger kids, and then have the more mature offering for, because they mentioned that in the video, that there's going to be a lot of things for families and younger kids and their parents to do, and there's going to be more things for thrill seekers and like people who are looking to use their words, face their fears, and like, it's going to be interesting to see like what kind of elevated horror experiences that they'll be able to use with it, how they might use it for like private events and stuff, like moving forward, what kind of things they might do during the HHN months with it as well. I can't wait to. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird to see the area in broad daylight in the Orlando sunshine, but I think it's gonna be worth it for how much like what they will do for it at nighttime in terms of the lighting. Like, we've seen the lighting effect on the manor for Monsters Unchained, the manor facade, like the electricity, like the electric bolts and stuff. That's like the the burning windmill, like you mentioned. Like, that place is gonna look unbelievable.
I think
at night,
like Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, they come alive at night. Like, it's just what Universal do really, really well, is they light the lighting packages they throw on the rides and the area, and it's not just the rides, and you don't just got like generators lighting up paths. That's not a dig at towers, just saying. But it's part of the process of the design. It's all thought about before they build it, so it's going to be insane to see that place lit up. And then we could talk about Epic Universe for a whole show. I've said this a million times. I think when we get all the lands, all of the announcements done, and videos, we should put them together and we should watch them and then go through each land. I think that'd be a pretty cool episode. And we could pick it like what we like, and but that is just one part of that park, which is, to me, is mind blowing. That could be, that could be a park on its own, Dark Universe. There's so much going on, it's incredible. And I saw Epic Universe when I went to Universal. We went onto the we came off the highway or freeway or whatever, I-4 I think it is, and then we entered Universal Boulevard, and you can see down it and Star Forest. Well, not called Star Forest anymore, is it? What's it called?
Starbucks races. Yeah, that's right.
Starbucks races.
Stardust. Yeah, Stardust.
Ice latte, the ride.
They like volley between like Starbucks races and Starburst races.
Starburst races. That'd be insane.
Take either.
That would be great. That would be fantastic. Handing out sweets. Brilliant. Speaking of Starburst, I bought one of them massive packs from Walmart. It took me about a week to get through.
Bloody love Starburst.
It was that big. Honestly, it was like that. It was huge. But no, I saw what they've built so far as of 2 weeks ago. Fucking hell.
Unreal.
It looks incredible from what you can see. But that mat coaster, that looks so good. Like pictures and videos don't do it justice. It's huge. It's massive.
Oh, yeah.
It stands out on the skyline like a sore thumb. It's there and it's ready. You know, it's. I think that's
fruit race.
Opal fruits. But RMC'd into Starburst races. Opal fruits. It's a callback.
Yo.
I actually remember, you know, a few years ago, they renamed them back to Opal Fruit.
They did have Opal fruits back for a year.
Yeah.
Opal
It was like
probably back to primary school. Fucking hell.
Right? Those the days.
Opal fruit.
Jesus.
Oh, man, we go on some food tangents on here. But it looks incredible from what I could see. I didn't drive right past it like I did previously 2 years ago, where it was just flat land and loads of excavators and cranes everywhere and stuff. But this time was just it's so far on with construction. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Yeah. But what they've done in 2 years is astonishing. And the Grand Helios as well. The hotel at the back of the park looks beautiful already. It's just to stay there is going to be very, very special if you're lucky enough to get to stay there. It's going to be insane.
Very, very expensive.
Very expensive. But actually, some Stella Nova and I can't remember what the other one's called now. What's the other one
Terra
called?
Luna. Yeah.
Terra Luna.
Yeah. If the prices of those rooms are anything to go by.
Packages are available for 2025. I was looking on the TUI app, and you can stay at them resorts in a package, and they've got the tickets there and stuff all set up, ready to go for next year. So if you are thinking about going out there, check Virgin Atlantic, check TUI, check whoever you're going to go with. You're going to go, because you can actually book them hotels now as a package.
It's so wild to think that we're only a year away,
right? Right. Like, do you think they're going to open every land at the same time?
Yeah, they have to.
Right.
They have
That's
to.
The only
like,
thing
there are some like different, I think maybe restaurants or like buildings that aren't, or like different little things that aren't going to open until 26, I think. But in terms of the 4 main lands, like yeah, I think there's no doubt that they'll open all at the same time.
Yeah, it was very hard to see Super Nintendo World. Like, you couldn't see much of that from a distance.
Yeah, that's by design, isn't it?
Yeah, which is good in a way.
It's all packed into.
Yeah,
packed into this area.
But yeah, no, Dark Universe looks insane. Let us know what you think in the chat and in the comments, because Bioreconstruct posted another video as projectors and a Dark Universe entrance for maybe Rolling Fog.
Yeah.
Not seen that. I'll have to check that out. Shout out to Bioreconstruct. Jeez, he's been like just all over the place. It's a pleasure.
Doing the Lord's work for sure. So over in meanwhile, like 20 minutes away at SeaWorld, they announced that Penguin Trek, the new family coaster, is going to open on July 7th.
Looks good,
which is fun. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this ride.
I think you just got to embrace it. It's one of them. I think it'd be fun.
You don't look that great to me.
It doesn't look great as a coaster experience, but it looks good because it kind of offers something a bit different in the park. Like, there's not much more in that park that would offer a similar experience.
They've achieved what they tried and failed to achieve with Icebreaker.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Like, that thing is Icebreaker's fun. Like, it's a good coaster. Don't skip it. Don't think it's shit. It's actually really fun, full of airtime and some ejector airtime at some points as well. Some good positives. But I think that that'll be the step up after Penguin Trek for a lot of people who go to SeaWorld and they're going for the first time, and they might be younger audience or family audience, and they might think, well, I'll do Penguin Trek, then I'll do Icebreaker, and then yada, and then finally step up to Mako was the big big coaster. Even Manta, to be honest with you. But it looks a lot of fun. It looks like it's providing something different, and it's what SeaWorld obviously are trying to do. Get more of a family audience in there because they've got the thrill already. They've got some really good
capital of Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's a good park, like SeaWorld. I didn't go this trip, but it does because Penguin Trek didn't open. I didn't think I'd bother. I wasn't paying the door price to go and just ride Pipeline, even though I probably should have looking back on it, but I was just enjoying my time.
Pipeline is fun.
Yeah, Pipeline's
a good time.
But I feel like SeaWorld's one of them parks, Busch Gardens as well. They just keep building stuff. That's good. Just keep building coasters and keep building rides and different experiences for different people. And right, sweet.
What else?
Anything else?
King's Dominion.
So I don't know nothing about.
They started construction on their B&M wing coaster. Launched B&M wing coaster for next year. That went vertical a week ago. Yeah, about a week ago. And like the colors on the truck, like I think it has the same or similar shade of green to the SNS 40 free spin coaster. It's going in the same area, the same jungle expedition area. So it's going to have a similar theme to Tumbili, the 40 free spin. But it has different color supports. I think it has like a light gray or maybe like a darker kind of grayish color for the support. So it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what that's going to be themed to. I know they just recently cut so the launch was supposed to have basically a launch tool on it, and that recently just got announced that it got cut out of the budget, unfortunately. But so it's gonna be interesting to see what the presentation of that ride is gonna look like. It's gonna be a fun as hell ride, I think. And then also some photos popped up of them doing some paint testing on Intimidator 305, which is now called, at the moment is called Project 305. They did announce that they're going to be doing a retheme of that ride. What they're retheming it to isn't entirely clear. There's been speculation about like including that in the Jungle Expedition area as well, which will be really awkward for Flight of Fear being stuck in the middle of it, in the middle of that side of the park. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what colors they decide to go with, or maybe they already have decided. I don't know, but yeah, and then the last thing as well. I actually wanted to mention this while we were talking about Dark Universe. Ride Through the Trees reminded me of it. Meanwhile, at Disney, so Tiana's Bayou Adventure opened up to pass holders, and no one likes it.
I have not seen one good thing.
I will say one thing. Seeing it in person is a lot different. It looks beautiful. Like it's so nice. The way it's done is.
I think beautiful. It looks gorgeous in videos. Like people have said, like the story is like basic and like there's not much to it and everything. But just like environment wise, like the built environment looks gorgeous on video, in my opinion.
I've seen it from behind as well. I did the Keys to the Kingdom tour, which I'll talk about another time. But it's beautiful. It's stunning. My argument is with this: if it was a new attraction, it didn't have any relation to Splash, what would the reception be?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. Are people just clinging on to the past and just mad about the retheme in general? So no matter what you fucking did to it, people are just going to whinge. Is that what it is?
Literally.
Because like you, from what I've seen, it looks lovely. Why?
It looks great. I mean, when I first saw it lit up at night, like impressive.
Yeah.
Up there with some of the highest standard of stuff Disney have done across the board. What I've seen, it just looked very impressive. I couldn't ride it, but when I did to the Keys to the Kingdom tour, we went into the Utilidor underneath, and cast members were getting like fitted for their outfits for opening day, and there was loads of media around, and they had a countdown clock in the main section of the Utilidor, and there was such a buzz around the cast member area and stuff like that. You could tell that Disney Magic Kingdom were really excited for this ride. Really, they put a lot of pride into it. And I do think from what our tour guide told us about the ride itself, there's some areas where there's quite a bit of darkness in there, but normally with rethemes of rides, well, I mean Valhalla, there are dark spots they put in, but I don't think necessarily, and I've noticed this with a lot of Disney attractions, they don't finish them. They just build on them. And I think this is going to be one of them that they build on over time, because they can't ignore the criticism they're getting. But at the same time, they're also getting good comments from people as well. I have heard some good comments from people, some big content creators and some, quite well recognized people. While I was over there, the cast member preview, we rode the railway, and people were getting on Frontierland having just ridden it, and they was just talking about it, like just buzzing about it. So I hope I get to ride it at some point. I really do. It looks good. It looks incredible. For me, it looks like a world-class attraction. And I just wanted to go in and ride it. I was just so gutted. Saw a few test runs, saw people riding it, and everyone seemed to be having a great time. So I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. I'm not ridden it.
Yeah.
But from an outsider who doesn't have any, like, couldn't give a shit about Splash Mountain because doesn't mean anything to me. Doesn't mean anything to me. It's like someone probably riding Valhalla for the first time in Blackpool if they come over from the States. They've never ridden the old Valhalla. So, in fact, it's probably a very good example of that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just look forward to riding. It's just a new ride for me. But it's stunning. What they're doing in that area is really nice. Really nice. If they build on that, and if they do the Beyond Big Thunder Mountain project and they build a new park, and so they got approval for a new gate, 2 new gates, I believe, from the Orlando government or something. While I was over there was something on the news about it, that they've been given permission to extend parks, build a new park, and build a new 1,400 more room hotel as well somewhere. So the building, they're just going to take the time doing it, which is what Disney do. So I mean, it took them 6 years to build Tron. So, right. Tron's good. I rode Tron. That was fun. Good ride. Good launch. Great launch. I preferred the seats though to the bike. Felt like it might have been because it was on the back of the coaster, but yeah, it was good. But yeah, also Sky News actually put a report out, a bit of an article out today saying that Europe's only Universal park, which
it's
is
Universal Bedford, and you know that everybody, well, if you're in England, it's just going to be like Bedford. That's what it is. No matter what they call it, Bedford.
It's Bedford. Yeah, I'm going to Bedford. But it's gonna. They were saying it's going to create £50 billion in economic, growth to the UK economy if they build it. So I can't see it not happening, to be honest with you. Now, got to a point where
I think it'd be, I'd be shocked if it was opposed now.
We never saw any of this this much level of build for London Resort. Yeah. It was nice concept art.
It was never
a bit
going
of a pipe
to
dream.
Happen.
Yeah, it was never going to happen.
Ever.
But
regardless,
we'll see. We'll see what happens with Universal, and obviously when something does, we'll be on it. So I certainly will be. Definitely.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Is that it? Is that it for the news?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do.
That's it. Let's call it then. So, guys, thank you.
That'll do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. We're going to try and get a full house next week. Hopefully we can. But yeah.
Right through the trees. I'm really sorry. I'm not sure who you are, but I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. at Top Thrill Stumble in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a banger of a time. I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
Whether we have Top Thrill 2 or not, that's going to be a crazy fucking weekend. I can't wait.
Yeah. And I hope everything goes well for the Hyperia event this weekend as well. Attraction Source. I'm praying. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. And we're almost at like 500 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. We're at 408. We're not almost, but just keep getting bits and bits, and it's really nice. So if you're not subscribed, please do, and please make sure
Why
you.
Not? Why are you watching if you're not subscribed?
Yeah,
I'll tell you like it is. I'll not beat around the bush. Why have you not subscribed? Don't be that guy, okay? Don't be that guy. Just press it. It doesn't cost anything. It's
free. It's free. It's also free to follow us in all your podcast formats as well, because
it is.
We're up to date at the moment. So yeah. Anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. Enjoy whatever you're doing this week, and we'll catch you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.